spoke about a little bit earlier, we're going to give you an overview of the types of electric vehicles. First, we're going to do another poll. So we have one on range. So this is a little quiz. It should be popping up on your screen. As of 2023, what is the average range of a new all-battery electric vehicle? Is it 110? Is it 270? Or is it 499? So give you guys a couple moments to fill that in. Looks like we have people answering. Feel free to give your best bet if you don't know, if you're unsure. We appreciate the participation. Wow, yeah. Okay, it's close. It's very close. I'm going to give everyone a few more moments. Get it in. Okay. Ending now. I appreciate your participation. Here are the results. So it looks like 58% of you think it's 499, and 33% of you think it's 270, 8% say 110. And the group that is correct is the 270 group. So great job, 499. Love your guys' ambition. Shoot for the stars and all of that. So yeah, let's dive into range a little bit. So range is on the rise. Over the past decade or so, we've seen that rise is steadily increasing. You can see in this chart that the average in 2023 is around 270 and the max is 516. So the range is going to depend on the make and the model. You can expect more affordable models to be at lower ranges and luxury brands to be closer to 400. So these are the Lucid Air vehicles, the 516. They're $100,000 cars, just mind-blowing insane. And I think this is a great goal for EVs to get to one day, and we're on the trend to get there. But right now, ranges have really never been higher, and it's a great time to explore EV ownership with the current ranges out there. So yeah, it's only going to get better as our technology advances, and that's a great sign for us as potential EV owners. So let's dive into the types of electric vehicles. There are essentially three types of electric vehicles. There's hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and all battery electric vehicles. To help you understand it, you can interpret this chart from left to right as being the most similar to a conventional gas car to the most different from a gas car. So hybrids on the left are the closest to a gas car because they are technically gas cars. They have extremely efficient engines because it's supported by an electric motor that charges through braking. So the MPG, miles per gallon, is very high, but it does not have any sort of electric battery. It just has electric assistance. So you're still going to be filling up at a gas station if you get a hybrid. You're just going to be doing it far less frequently than you would with a traditional gas vehicle. And then moving into plug-in hybrids, this is in the middle because it combines both electric battery and a gas tank. So these cars have a shorter battery range to accommodate the gas tank. And you're going to be charging it in your local community or at home, but you're also going to be able to stop at gas stations and fuel up when you run out of battery charge. So the last one is the all battery electric vehicle, BEV for short, battery electric vehicle. And this is purely on electricity. There's no more gas. You won't be stopping at a gas station. You will be charging either at home or at a local station, again, in your community. So that's the types of electric vehicles. And for the purposes of this presentation, we're going to really focus on the plug-in hybrids and the battery electric vehicles because, like I said, hybrids, the secret's out. They're not really electric vehicles, and there aren't really financial incentives for them because a lot of the incentive programs are focusing on the electric vehicles, so plug-in hybrids and battery electric. All right, so we're going to dive into an overview, a little bit more detail, and we're going to start with the all battery electric vehicle. So, as I mentioned earlier, the average range is around 270. You can expect around 100 to 300 miles per charge for an all battery electric vehicle. And then the average price for a new vehicle is around 28,000 to 60,000 for new. And for used, we're seeing them anywhere from around 15 to 40. And these are estimates and averages of the market that we've noticed. So you can find a little bit cheaper used vehicles. It really depends on where you're looking, but this is what you can kind of expect. So should you get an all battery electric vehicle? Let's dive into some of the considerations for that. So, if you have access to charging at home, all electric could be a good option. That's not a deal breaker if you don't have access to charge at home. But because gas is no longer an option, having reliable charging is important for all batteries. So, having it at home just makes it much more convenient. Um, so the next consideration is if the daily commute distance is within your battery range. So when you're considering which EV model you prefer, you need to take into account how much and where you're driving on a daily basis. So say, for example, I am someone who has to regularly commute to Oakland for work. I live in Santa Cruz. That is a round trip of 150 miles. So I could get a electric vehicle, a Chevy Bolt, which has a full range of around 250, and I could drive to work and back, and I'd still have around 100 miles or so to spare at the end of the day. So that would make me feel comfortable with my commute distance in the battery range. So it's really important to look at your commute and to see how much you're actually driving when considering which EV model is best for you. Okay, now we're going to dive into just some of the models that are pretty popular and more affordable. So we have the Nissan Leaf, the Chevy Bolt, the Hyundai Kona, the Kia Niro, and the Volkswagen ID4. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different styles now and types. You can get larger vehicles, smaller vehicles. EVs are really expanding in style and technology. Alrighty, so now let's dive into the plug-in hybrids. So a plug-in hybrid is the combination vehicle. You're going to have the gas tank and the battery. The battery is smaller, so in all electric mode, you're going to get around 15 to 50 miles per charge, but then you'll have, a traditional gas tank to back that up, and you'll get like 400 to 600 miles with the gas tank. So in terms of cost, the average price for a new plug-in hybrid is around 35 to 40,000. And for used, it's sitting around 15 to 25. And again, these are averages. But yeah, that's what you can kind of expect. You should consider getting a plug-in hybrid if your daily commute or frequent road trips exceed the battery range. So just for another example, my actual commute is not to Oakland. I drive about 15 to 20 miles per day, going to work, grocery store, the beach to see friends locally. So my daily commute would really work with a plug-in hybrid that has a lower all-electric range. However, I visit family that lives in SoCal. So that is a further trip that the shorter electric range couldn't support. So I could get a plug-in hybrid that has 400 to 600 miles to visit my family, and I wouldn't have to worry about range anxiety or charging every hour. I could just use the gas tank to go there and then drive electric in my community. So it can kind of support you if you have longer commutes or if you like to road trip, and you can still have that electric component as well. So really looking into your lifestyle and seeing if that would be a better fit for you is important. And then the next consideration is if you're just not ready to go fully electric yet. That's a totally valid thought and feeling. Some people have concerns over the range, and they just aren't ready to dive into that and have to deal with the charging, because it's a lifestyle switch from the gas. Some people only have one car in their family, and it's too hectic you don't have time to stop and charge. So there's a lot of reasons that could go into that. But if you're interested in electric but aren't fully sold on electric driving, plug-in hybrid could be a good transitional vehicle for you, so to speak. Okay, so here are some models for plug-in hybrids that are pretty popular and affordable. We have the BMW i3, the Mini Cooper E, the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, which is a minivan and one of the only minivans on the market, a Chevy Volt, which is the plug-in hybrid for Chevy, and then the Toyota Prius Prime, which is the electric version of the traditional Prius that everybody seems to know. So those are some of those vehicles. Now we have a video that's really going to dive into EVs a bit more. This is created and produced by Kalia, so you get to enjoy her work, and this will show you inside the vehicles so you can get a better feel of what they look like, what it would be like to drive in them a little bit. So enjoy this video.
Hi, I'm Sebastian with EVs for Everyone at Ecology Action. Let's take a closer look at the most popular and affordable used and new electric vehicles on the market. This is the 2018 Tesla Model 3. It is a fully electric sedan with 5 seats. It has a range of about 272 miles, and newer models are available with up to 333 miles of range. This is a great daily commuter car with the comfort of a luxury car feel. This is the fully electric 2023 Chevy Bolt EV. It is a hatchback style with 5 seats. It has tremendous cargo space when the back seats are down, and a range of about 259 miles. The Chevy Bolt EV is a great all-around car, whether driving around the city, commuting, or road trips. Those looking for a little extra passenger room and cargo space can opt for the Chevy Bolt EUV. It provides that extra space as a compact crossover SUV while still averaging around 247 miles of range. Next, we have the Nissan Leaf. It is another fully electric vehicle you can buy new or used. This is the 2014 model with about 84 miles of range and is a great option for those in the market for a used vehicle. It's a hatchback with 5 seats, and newer models come with a range of up to 212 miles. It also has great cargo space when the seats are down. The Leaf is a great car for getting around town for your daily needs or shorter commute. This is the BMW i3 and is a great affordable option as a used plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with many on the market. This one is the 2015 model. It's a hatchback with 4 seats. This model has an all-electric range of 81 miles with the optional gas range extender, which adds an additional 70 miles of range. The BMW i3 is a great option for city commutes and day trips with a luxury car feel. The Volkswagen ID.4 is a great fully electric SUV with tremendous cargo capacity. It has 5 seats and an impressive range of about 275 miles. This is a great family car for daily driving and family road trips.
We've reviewed the most popular and affordable electric vehicles. To learn more about the incentives you qualify for, sign up for purchase guidance at evsforeveryone.org.
Awesome. So that wonderful video really dives into the vehicles, and I hope you guys have a better feel for what they kind of look like and maybe some thoughts on what you would want and need. But yeah, we can totally help you out parsing through different vehicles as well. So just another plug for our program, EVs for Everyone. All right. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want me to go without playing the whole thing.
Now I'm going to give you a brief overview of electric vehicle charging, which I'm sure all of you have been wondering about. How do we even charge these things? Well, there are three types of charging: level 1, level 2, and level 3, known as DC fast charging. So level 1 charging on the left there is done with a 120 volt plug that you can find in your home. This is the same outlet you use to plug in your phone or appliances, and this type of charging will give you 3 to 5 miles per hour. However, if level 1 chargers are the most accessible way to charge your EV, since the charger comes free with the vehicle when you buy it. So this is a great option for folks who generally drive less than 40 miles a day, since you will recharge any range you used up during the day when you park the car overnight. However, if you want something a little faster or drive more than 40 miles a day, there are level 2 chargers available. And level 2 uses more electricity and charges the vehicle much faster, and you get approximately 10 to 20 miles per hour. They usually plug into around 240 volt outlets that are typically used for like laundry dryers. So if looking to install a level 2 charger at your home, an electrician would be needed to install, and you may even have to upgrade your electrical panel to accommodate the charger. This can be a costly process. Fortunately, that's where we are here to help. There are incentives available to help offset the cost, and we can help you apply for those incentives in our free purchase guidance program. So level 2 chargers are great if you have an electric vehicle with 200 plus miles of range. Plugging it in overnight will give you a full charge. But if you're not looking to install at your home or unable to, there are also many level 2 chargers publicly available, and later we'll show you how you can find them around your community. Finally, there's level 3 charging, often known as DC fast charging, and it's the fastest option. They're only available publicly and are usually found in supermarket parking lots or at highway exits. They usually for road trips or for people who need a quick charge, as they can charge 100 to 200 miles of range in just 30 minutes, depending on your electric vehicle make and model. Next slide. So now I'm going to give you a brief overview of the different charging costs for home and public charging. So of course, charging from home is the easiest way to charge your electric vehicle. You plug it in overnight, wake up, and you're ready to ride. The cost is combined with your monthly electric bill. So instead of paying up front, you're going to be getting that added to your bill every month. And the costs of charging for level 1 and 2 chargers are the same, and just depends on the battery size of your vehicle, but also the price of electricity in your area. And the price of electricity in your area can vary and can even be cheaper to charge during off-peak hours, which usually are before 4 p.m. and after 9 p.m. Next slide. So the cost of public charging can vary, but we do have a rough estimate. So for level 2, the cost to fully charge can be around $10 to $25, and for DC fast charging, the cost to fully charge can be around $15 to $30. Of course, there's a lot of factors that can impact the cost of charging, including the size of your battery, how much charge you need, and the rate of the charger. Roughly, most level 2 chargers have a rate of 20 to 40 cents per kilowatt hour, whereas level 3 chargers have rates between 35 to 55 cents per kilowatt hour. And to kind of put that in perspective, because I'm sure you don't understand what that means, for level 2 and 3 chargers, you're paying about 7 or 11 cents per mile, whereas gas is ranging from 18 to 21 cents per mile in some areas. So that means the cents add up. You can save $2,053 on fueling on average by going electric. Not only can you save on refueling, but generally electric vehicles take less maintenance. You don't have to deal with pesky oil change, like Jordan said, or the extensive maintenance that gas cars require. According to Consumer Reports, you can save $4,600 on maintenance by going electric. Next slide. So now we have a poll here, and would like you to rank how accessible you think EV charging stations are on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being inaccessible and 5 being very accessible. Choose wisely. Got some 3s, 4s. Okay. 3s. You're like on the unsure side. You're like, it might be accessible. I haven't looked, but it is there. I like that. Okay. Few more minutes. Ooh, a few ones. Ouch. All right. Well, electric vehicle charging may be more accessible than you think. Charging may happen at home, at work, or out and about at a public charger. And there are many resources available to help you find a charging point in your location or along your route. One such resource is PlugShare. So PlugShare is an interactive map that shows you available charging stations, and it can show you user reviews and tell you if stations are occupied or not, and it offers features to plan road trips as well. So also, with the new infrastructure bill that just passed, there will be fast chargers available every 50 miles across the country, making cross-country road trips with the EVs even more doable. And we'll show you around the website. So as you can see on the website, you can enter your address or the city in which you're looking for charging, and PlugShare will show you the nearest charging stations. The green stations are level 2, and the orange stations are going to be level 3. So you can decide which station you need. All right. So next, we're going to be talking about the bulk of what we're doing here, which is some of the financial incentives for clean vehicles. Next slide. So this chart here shows the incentives for both used and new vehicles that are fully battery electric. For newer used vehicles, you will qualify for the state grant program or the Drive Clean Assistance Grant Program, which is available for low-income folks living in specific communities and provides up to $7,500 as a down payment assistance when purchasing a new used vehicle. Right now, what is open is the federal tax credit, which currently goes off your existing tax liability, in which you can receive a max of $7,500 for a new vehicle or a $4,000 for a used vehicle, and that's also going to be a down payment assistance as well. And then there are rebates that you can apply and receive after purchasing an electric vehicle. For new or used vehicle, there are 2 local programs. So we have the EV rebate from Central Coast Community Energy and provides a max of $4,000 for a new vehicle and $3,000 for a used vehicle. And for used vehicles, there's also a program available for PG&E, and you can receive up to $4,000 depending on your annual income. The last program there consists of turning in your old non-functioning car and receiving financial assistance of up to $1,500. So adding all these programs together, you can receive as high as $11,500 for a new electric vehicle or up to $16,000 for a used one. All right, next slide. And as we mentioned earlier, there are programs available to help cover the cost of getting a level 2 charger installed at your home. The rebate program covers the cost of buying the actual charging unit, installation cost, and any potential panel upgrades you would need for this. So your advisor will be able to help you determine what charging solution makes the most sense for you and help you apply for the appropriate rebates. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I qualify for these incentives? Well, there's a varying degree requirement for each of the rebate programs. Largely, they go off of income standards, meaning that lower income households qualify for more. There are also car requirements that are also important because some programs have specific age of vehicle, mileage, and income and cost restrictions as well. And then we have a special rebate by PG&E, which is on pre-owned cars, and it has slightly different program requirements. So the program goes off of the county's median income. So applicants have to be below 80% of the median income to qualify for the increased rebate, but there is a base rebate of $1,000. You can see in the chart on the right that for a single filer in the Santa Cruz County, the income starts at $87,350. If you fit the income requirements, you just have to ensure that you submit your application within 180 days of purchase to be qualified. All right, and now we're going to get into some example purchase scenarios. So this is Alara, and Alara bought a 2023 Chevy Bolt EUV. So to give you kind of a perspective of the timeline, so in April 2023, she signed up for purchase guidance, and Alara received 1 grant, and then she was able to purchase her Bolt in July of 2023. And then after getting her Bolt, she was able to apply to 3 rebates in September 2023, or she applied to the rebates and got the rebates in September. And then she also received a free level 2 charger. And the total savings associated with that is $23,000, which is crazy to me. I want that right now. So, but that's super awesome for Alara. And yeah, as you can see, super happy. And then we have one more scenario for you as well. This is George. So we have a 2023 Tesla Model Y, a Tesla driver. And to give you kind of a perspective there, so George went and signed up for purchase guidance in October. And since George wasn't going to apply for any grants or anything like that, they went ahead and purchased the Tesla Model Y in October. And then after they purchased, they went ahead and applied to those 2 rebates for them, and they saved a total of $10,500. Go, George. So yeah, next I'm going to give you an overview of Ecology Action's Purchase Guidance Assistance Program, which we should all be here for and sign up after this. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of the EVs for Everyone Purchase Guidance Program. So the buying process begins by raising your awareness about electric vehicles. So this is one of the ways we can raise your awareness, but you may have heard about electric vehicles from friends or neighbors, interacted with one of us at a community event, or are in this webinar. And so the next thing you could do is sign up for the Purchase Guidance Program. And our program will help guide you through the entire buying process and get all of your questions answered. If you haven't already done so, you can sign up on our website at evsforeveryone.org, another plug. And the next step is meeting your purchase guidance advisor, which could be me or Jordan or some of our other great advisors. And we will walk you through the benefits finder on the Access Clean California website. And this is really just a questionnaire that will ask you a series of questions and give you a summary of the incentives you may qualify for. In the meantime, you'll work with your purchase guidance advisor to start shopping for cars and find out which vehicle best fits your lifestyle, preferences, and budget. So as you shop, if you applied for a grant, you will need to wait for the approval to use it at the time of purchase. And then once you complete the purchase of the electric vehicle, you can apply for rebates and receive the money shortly thereafter in the form of a check, which I know we all love. And this can be used to reduce your monthly payment or to pay bills as needed. So our program will help you through every step of the process, from learning more about electric vehicles to applying for and purchasing the vehicle to helping you apply for and install a charger in your home after you purchase the car. But the role of the purchase guidance as an advisor, we can help you look at different types of electric vehicles available and help you find the one that works for you. We'll help you apply for financial assistance, review budgeting and financing options, and we'll also even help you find dealerships where you can buy a car. We can discuss the different options for charging and installing a charger in your home as well, basically holding your hand through the whole way. But as your purchase guidance advisor, we are not responsible for troubleshooting any grant applications or reimbursement processing issues with program funders. And this is because we're not administrators of any of the incentive programs. Instead, we are a resource center to help guide you through the right direction and give you contact information for support. So we cannot help advising you with the federal tax credit either. And that's really just because we're not CPAs and do not know the specifics of your tax information. And finally, we cannot make the final decision on choosing and purchasing an electric vehicle. Of course, this decision depends on what you need and makes most sense for you and your personal lifestyle.
All right, so that was a lot of information, but we're gonna kind of go over what you can do next to help, process that and move forward with it. So just to kind of sum it all up, we have a timeline. So pre-purchase, before you would get a car, if you sign up for a program, we'll walk you through the Access Clean Benefits Finder that Kalia mentioned. There is a process after you see what you qualify for to do an income verification. And this links you up to the individual incentive programs and kind of gives you like VIP access to apply because of your income qualified. This process, though, takes around 3 to 6 weeks to verify your income and tax information. After that, if grants are available and you qualify, you could apply to that, and that takes 1 to 4 months to approve. That process is a little bit more arduous than any of the other ones. It takes a bit. So if you're going to apply for a grant when they're open, just buckle in for that one. But once you get approved for a grant, you do that at the point of purchase when you're at the dealer. They'll send the money over, lower the cost of the vehicle, and you can also do the federal tax credit at that point as well. Once you have the vehicle and it's yours, you apply for rebates, and those take, roughly 2 months to get back. So the buying process can take anywhere from 3 to 8 months. So keep that in mind as you begin to navigate this process. If you really need a car, around 3 months is probably the fastest it'll go, maybe 2 months, because if you're not doing a grant. But just know that it can take a variety of lengths, and that depends on the programs and, you know, your motivation to get it done. So again, if you'd like to sign up for our program, evsforeveryone.org, we can help you sort through all this information you heard. I'm sure if you've been listening and you have any questions, if you get paired with an advisor, you can shoot them off at them, which might be me or Clea, or again, any of our other staff. So feel free to do that. Or yeah. So as you wait, if you want to look more into EVs before signing up for our program, we suggest that you really explore your EV options and use resources available to get a pulse on the market, and figure out what types of EVs you would want, what works within your price, and to figure out like the average cost of the vehicle you might be interested in. Sites like Electric for All, Craigslist, CarMax, Veloce Electric for All is a really good resource that includes a lot of incentives into the price, so you can kind of get a gauge for what it would cost with incentives. So yeah, just use your resource to be informed and to go into this process a little bit more ready. But if you sign up for a program, our advisors can handhold this entire process for you as well. So if you're not comfortable or ready to do that, we got you. All right. So we concluded the portion of the EVs, and now we're going to dive into the Resilient Central Coast with Kalia.
Don't leave yet, though. This is the greatest part now. Yes, Resilient Central Coast. It's an awesome platform, and I'm so happy to be sharing it with you today. So it really started with this. Nearly 40% of US greenhouse gas emissions come from 5 basic daily household sources. Can you think of them? I'll give you a head start. The use of electricity, home heating, transportation, food choices, and our waste stream. The good news is that solutions exist, and we can each take action in these areas to significantly lower our impact while saving money and improving community health and resilience. A double win. The Resilient Central Coast campaign is a 6-county collaborative effort from Santa Cruz to Ventura with the goal of activating 500,000 residents on the Central Coast by 2030 to take climate action and better prepare for climate change impacts. The informational backbone of the campaign is the national recognized Bright Action online platform, which is customized for each of our participating counties. There's over 25 agency partners are supporting the campaign in hopes of building healthier and more resilient communities. Next slide. So the Bright Action platform, which is natively translated into Spanish as well, includes over 100 household actions and a robust carbon calculator and is free to all. Residents receive immediate feedback about their savings and their positive impact while connecting with others who are taking action as well. Each of the county pages have been customized with resources and includes local, state, and federal rebates and incentive programs, along with other tools and information to help residents take action from home electrification and e-bike and electric vehicle resources to water conservation and everything in between. The platform serves as a one-stop shop for residents to identify actions and updates they can do in their home to better conserve resources and save on utility bills. So if you're trying to save on that electric bill, we got you. Next slide. So we encourage you to join the thousands of other community members that have already started using this free online resource, and go ahead and log on to resilientcentralcoast.org today and follow the simple prompts to get started. We look forward to having you access this one-stop shop for household climate actions and helping you save resources and money. So please reach out with any questions or support needs. Go one more slide over. I think I have my email in there. There's not. But yeah, that was my presentation on Resilient Central Coast. I hope you guys explore it. It's really a great tool, and it's been helping me on my house savings, honestly.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kalia. I highly suggest you guys check that out. Now we are opening for any questions that y'all may have. You can throw any questions you have in the chat, or you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. But we're going to take the next couple of minutes to do questions if y'all have any. And feel free. We're very nice and won't be mean. Well, if no one has any questions, that's totally okay. That makes us feel like we did our job. Um, Let me just advance the slide. So here are, oh, are there any EVs that don't qualify? So each program, Michael, has individual requirements. So for the PG&E one, you can only do used vehicles. So new vehicles wouldn't apply to that program. 3CE, the Central Coast Community Energy Rebate, they do have some limitations on mileage and cost. Luxury vehicles don't qualify because these are programs that are trying to, promote more economical models. And then the federal tax credit is the most fickle program, and there's a lot of limitations on the models. Let me drop the link to that in the chat because the government has put some limitations, and I do not know them all off the top of my head. So I'm just going to throw a link in the chat and you can look if you're interested. But a lot of the popular vehicles that we work with in the program do qualify. The Chevy Bolts, some of the Tesla models. So there are vehicles that are available. And again, we can dive into this in more detail if you want to sign up for our program or reach out over email. So Hans asked, assuming I meet the income requirement, what other factors can make me ineligible? So if you're income qualified, you need to live in the area and have your vehicle meet the requirements, and that is what will make you qualify. And even I will say, the incentives increase for low income folks, but there are standard rebates for most of the programs. So even if you're not super high, or if you're not super low income, you can still get a couple $1,000s back. And I know it's not, the 23,000 that Alara got, but it can help a little bit. So you won't get, if you live in this area, you won't get rejected from a lot of the programs. It'll just be less money. So I hope that answers that question. James asked, do electric EVs qualify? Yes. So what we have been speaking about in this program this evening, they're all electric EVs. There's all batteries, so that's just the battery in the car fueling it, and then there's plug-in hybrids, which have a battery and a gas tank, and both of those apply. The only one that doesn't really apply are the hybrids that I mentioned in the beginning of the program because they don't have an electric battery that fuels it. Oh, electric bikes. Yes. So there's a separate program launching a statewide e-bike rebate. And that's probably be coming in late summer, but that will launch and be qualifying for some programs. If you work in the downtown region in Santa Cruz, this is for anyone, I suppose. Ecology Action has a membership program where you can get a 0 inches bike loan and also a e-bike rebate that is stackable. And I believe the Air District, Monterey Bay Air Resource, has an e-bike rebate as well. So there are e-bike rebates, and I think if you Google that in the region, you could probably see it. There's a state one coming if you can hold off, so you can get a little bit more money, but there are two local ones with Ecology Action and MBARD, Air Resource Board. So I hope that helps. E-bikes are great too. Oh, motorcycles too. Yeah, those also qualify for the programs. If you want to go motorcycle route, you could check that out as well. There's lots of sustainable transportation options blooming, different programs for bikes, for cars, for motorcycles. They're really trying to make it widely accessible for any mode of transportation you choose to do. So There was a Q&A, but okay, looks like Clea grabbed it. That's great. Any more questions that we have this evening? And again, if you're not comfortable or you haven't thought any and they come to you later in this evening or throughout the week, you can grab our emails on this page and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mary. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming. So just to wrap it up, in terms of this wonderful presentation, there's going to be a lucky winner who will receive a $100 gift card. How that's going to work is all of you that attended will be put into a poll. We will randomly select someone and the winner will be notified. So if you don't hear from us, you didn't win. But if you do hear from us, that's great. And you're going to be rolling in the cash. So we will reach out and we'll coordinate the prize. So we appreciate you all being here and participating and really just making this a great time for us all. We hope that you have a great evening and that if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, okay? All right, everyone have a great evening.